When first thought, submit spirit to form matter. Our celestial humanity arrives, awakening in the dream, an inception of our reality. So we live, we love, and then there is music. So we dance, we sing, we praise, we reflect. In the infinite in between, the now that was, faces dance in our dreams. Some familiar, some
Ascended Radio.
cosmic composition. In the irrelevance of this time, we realize the passion of the random action, learning the lesson that the brotherhood of man is far more important than the ego of any individual. Imagination becomes the sound of thought, traveling at the speed of art. So we paint on the canvas of our ephemeral encounters with nothing. A masterpiece of memory that lives in the eternity of a child's. So I was chanting most of the day, and I wanted to know, Narelle, can you tell us about sacred spaces, particularly the sacred space of fire, the sacred space of water, and the sacred space of earth?
Wow, that's quite a question. This is just my opinion as we go through this conversation, but sacred space means different things to different people, I think. I think on a universal level, over time, fire, water, and earth, represent transformation, cleansing, and healing, across time. But for me, especially now, when you start talking about chanting, I believe that anywhere that you can be spiritual and take a moment for consciousness can become a sacred space, right? Because then the sanctity of the space and the sanctity of where you are is up to the intention of the person that's having the spiritual moment, right? So I think about, like, for me, when I am chanting, my altar is definitely a sacred space. But when I'm going through something, or if I'm out somewhere and in the moment I need to connect spiritually, when I take a moment by myself in a corner to chant or engage that way, then that becomes a sacred space for the moments that I occupy it for that purpose, right? For me, water, especially the ocean, so powerful. Even before I became a Buddhist, one of the things that I loved doing more than anything was going to the ocean in the mornings and watching the sunrise over the Atlantic Ocean, and really spending time in gratitude and appreciation for my life and for things that were happening for me at that time. And then I was able to go full circle when I went back to Florida for a friend's wedding, and I was able to chant at the ocean, and I chanted as a storm was coming in, and I was able to really connect with the power of the water and the air and all of it together with the connection of the universal law of chanting was just super powerful. So I guess to your question, the natural elements are sacred for the purposes that they are, and they have been. But for me, sacred space is wherever I choose to have a sacred moment, whenever I can. But I definitely have a dedicated space also for my spiritual practice, if that makes sense.
Yes.
You sound like you got a lot on your mind right now.
Yeah. I was embracing my celestial awareness, my celestial consciousness, my God knowledge, my Sufi awareness, Buddhist practice, and Cherokee and African roots. I captured all of that inside of a piece that I'm going to put this recording on. And I've been traveling all morning. I watched a movie last night. It was a good movie. A friend suggested to me. Called Behind Her Eyes. And it was dealing with astral projection, and it just gave me awareness of the reality of that in a cinematographic way, and ways that I was already aware of, and some of the things that happened in the movie that had happened to me before. And I learned how to protect myself with the sacred space of fire, the sacred space of water, the sacred space of earth.
Okay.
I think water and fire are continuums. The sacred space of fire is a purifier. Water is also a purifier. You can either put fires out or heat waters up and create the steam, the transformation like you were talking about. Different states of matter, solids, liquids, and gases. And I was just transversing through those stages and states in my mind. Elemental awareness and cosmic consciousness, traveling and balancing. And I was thinking about different things. How we all evolve over time and what that entails.
Okay.
How do you think, how have you adjusted to your evolution and transformation over time?
Well, I think evolution and transformation are adjustments of their own, right? It is our body or our mindset or our attitude adjusting to whatever the new stimuli or the new change agent is that we're encountering, right? So the act of evolving and the act of transforming is the organic way of adjusting to whatever our environment is at the time. But to your question, how have I adjusted, meaning my consciousness and how I am occupying that new space now? I have made a point to be open more, very open to learning. Adjusting for me involves asking a lot of questions. I question everything now, just about, and not in a I'm suspicious of everything way, but I question because I want to learn, right? And there's so much I don't know, and I'm encountering more things that I don't know every day. And the more I occupy time in my sacred space, meaning my chanting and my spiritual practice, the more the evolution takes place and the more questions I ask, because what I'm chanting for is to become the best version of myself and to be able to help people to be happy. And in the quest of wanting to become better or raise my own vibration, the information is coming to me from various ways, and I ask a lot of questions. And that's what helps me. It helps me to not be overwhelmed. It makes me slow down in the process to become more conscious. The act of asking a question is a great thing for me. And so that's the biggest tool, I think, for me in my adjustment, is asking questions and being open to learning. I mean, like with you talk about all kinds of concepts and spiritual ideas, and we have amazing conversations. But I ask you questions when you say things that I don't know or have not encountered or have not heard. I ask, or I sit with you in a book and I write it down and look it up later because either I'm asking you during the conversation or I'm asking in another way just to get the information so that I'm more informed. So
all of it relates to the Tao. And the Tao is like a well. It's used but never used up. It's like the eternal void, filled with infinite possibilities. It's hidden but always present. No one knows who gave birth to it. And it's older than God. Although God has no birth record. So
right.
The Tao and God are one.
That's an interesting concept.
I've been enjoying the rays of the sun coming through my window. Contemplating on the blessings of daylight and the enjoyment of nightfall and the infinite in between that we've enjoyed over eons of time. And just really being thankful for all the experiences here in this realm. Yeah.
It's good to reflect.
Yes.
The sun rays in the window are always welcomed. Whenever, I open my blinds up now every day. And that's a new thing for me, I think, since I moved here, because I felt like I don't live in an upper apartment anymore, like a high-rise. So I felt like at first like I was kind of in a fishbowl. And so I wouldn't open my blinds all the way up very often. But lately, it has been much more important for me to receive the sun and daylight in its full manifestation. Has been more important to me than worrying about whether or not somebody was looking at my window, right? So I really come to appreciate the beauty of that and giving myself permission to live on the higher vibration. And it's wonderful.
Yeah, I was also contemplating in the movie, they talked about going through doors, and I looked at doors as barriers. Some you can go through, and some, if there's a door, it's meant to pass through. I don't think that all doors should be entered into without some trepidation, but I think they all should be entered into for discovery, to learn what's on the other side, so that you may further evolve and grow. Because if there's something on the other side of the door you don't know about, one day you may come across the information behind that door without entering, and it may be detrimental to you. So I think on a conscious level, you should enter doors with caution for discovery, to learn and know, with the emphasis on caution. What do you think about that? Do you think some doors need to remain closed?
I think you don't really know until you go through the door, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You don't know if something should be opened or closed until you open it, like a Pandora's box, right?
Yeah.
But what I do know is if you go through the door, if you choose to open the door, and you have given yourself the tools to fortify yourself, then you know that whatever's on the other side, good or bad, because both are parts of life, that you'll be able to deal with it. So the choice is really the matter, right? That is the moment where you either give in to fear or you don't. It's the making of the choice is where the courageousness comes in. It doesn't matter what's on the other side. It matters that you evolve as a person to either make the decision to go forward or not.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
around.